Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I had a great question asking how much do I pay my property manager for my apartment complexes. So I kind of want to break down all the rentals and how much I'm paying my property manager for each one. So for all my California single family homes, I actually self-manage this because it's in California, it's local, I have great tenants so far, and basically it doesn't require that much time. Occasionally I have to text the handyman to come over. It's only really busy when I have to show the unit, right? So most of my units have been occupied by the same tenant, which has been nice. But there's one unit in San Francisco. It's a lower unit. It's a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. That one typically has a little bit of turnover every probably 2 years, I'd say, on average. Um, so yeah. So for my California single family homes, I self manage it, so I don't pay a property manager. For my Huntsville, Alabama property, which is in obviously far away from me, they charge me about 10% of rents, and I think for the first month, if there's a new tenant, they charge me like I think $500 to lease it out, or there may be no fee. I don't exactly remember, but this is a kind of typical, right? For a single family home, is that for the first month that they rent out to a new tenant, they may get like a lump sum or 50% of the rent or like some type of lump sum, and then so I think mine was like $500, and then it's 10% of the rents after that, right? So if I'm getting $2,000 in rent, 10% is the fee. So that's about $200 is what the property manager is getting paid every single month, right? So what's nice is if they scale it, then they can make a lot of money. But property management is a different beast. It's a different type of business model, and it's not for me right now. So despite doing it myself, while self-managing. So for my apartments, so for single family homes, when you're a property manager, like you said, it's common to like you average between 7 to maybe 10%, and they might charge like a lump percentage fee or lump sum when they lease out to a new tenant. For apartments, it's a little bit similar but different. So for my 26 unit, I pay my property manager 7% flat. So if I have about I gross about $18,000 a month in rent, and they get 7%. So I think they're roughly getting around like, I can't do that math off the top of my head, but like they're basically getting like a little bit under, maybe like $1,200 a month, something like that, give or take. And every time they lease out the unit, they don't get a flat fee or percentage, right? Because there's so many units, so there's economies of scale. So how my property manager makes the most money is that they help me with the general contracting, and they basically try to they're real estate brokers, so they want to sell my property whenever I'm ready to flip or if I want to sell it, right? But right now I don't want to sell, but who knows? That's the day. The future may hold something different, right? So they get 7% of my gross rents, and from there, for my 20 unit, for example, I think they get about 8% of the rents, and then they don't get any money to lease out the units. And I think I had to negotiate that out of the contract, right? So when you sign up for a property manager, everything is negotiable, right? So I think in the beginning they wanted like a flat fee or a percentage every time they rent out the unit, and I just said, you know what, um, I don't want to deal with that. Let's just get rid of that. I redlined it, talked to the owner. He was okay with it. So I said, I got 20 units, right? And so I have economy scales. I have more. I'm not just a single family home, right? It's multiple units, and it was nearby, so they're okay with just charging a flat 8% fee, right? So that's the breakdown. For my mobile home park, when I owned it, I had a offsite property manager who I paid I think $1,200 a month flat, and I had a on-site property manager who lived there, and he was basically like a salary of like I think like $2,000 a month, something like that. So collectively, it was $3,200 a month. And what I didn't like about that was because they're getting a flat fee, they're not incentivized to like rent out more units, right? Because if it's a percentage, the more rents you get, the higher your percent becomes. Versus if I pay them flat, it's just a W-2 job, right? Whether you work hard, you don't work good, you work great, you work poorly, you get paid the same regardless, right? So they weren't really incentivized, and they were my worst property managers, right? Both of them, both the offsite as well as the on-site. So, so this is kind of how we do it. So high level, it's typically around 7 to 10% of your gross rents, and they may charge fees if they have to rent out the unit. They may charge a fee for evictions, or they just might charge a flat like 7 8%. And that's what I kind of prefer. I just prefer a flat fee because they should be a good property manager because I want to scale with them, right? And I make that known. So, anyways, hopefully this gives you some insight as to how I pay my property managers and which one I use that I self-manage versus which ones I hire a third-party property manager, how I pay them, and how I try to align incentives with them. So if you're looking to buy your first multifamily deal with some guidance, check out the link for the mentorship program. Otherwise, please let me know if you have any comments or questions. Love to answer your questions, and please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.